The rain outside my hospital window sounded like heaven was counting the last seconds of my life. Each drop hit the glass like a whisper, soft, patient, waiting for the silence to come. My body was weak, barely clinging to breath. The machines around me beeped slower and slower until there was nothing but one long, flat sound. The doctor sighed, tired but calm. Time of death. 2:37 antes do meio-dia. His words echoed like thunder in my soul. My daughter screamed. My son turned away. Someone pulled the white sheet over my face, and everything went dark. But I was still there. Still inside. Still alive. I could hear their footsteps fading, their voices soft and distant. She went peacefully, one nurse whispered. No, I didn't. I was screaming inside a body that refused to move. They rolled me out of the room. The hallway lights blurred through the thin fabric covering my face. I could smell antiseptic. I could hear the sound of wheels on tile. And as the elevator doors closed, I prayed the only words I could still think. God, please, don't let them close that drawer. When they brought me into the morgue, I felt it before I even knew where I was. That piercing, soul-deep cold that seeps into your bones and makes your spirit shiver. The air was heavy, still, and full of something I can only describe as absence. The kind of emptiness that belongs only to places where the living don't stay for long. I could feel the hard steel beneath me, the thin sheet over my body, the weight of the tag tied to my toe. I wanted to cry, to scream, to tell them this was a mistake, but my lips wouldn't move, and my chest refused to rise. I heard drawers sliding open and closing one by one, each sound echoing like thunder in that frozen room. And then, footsteps. Soft, careful, familiar. A woman's voice hummed quietly, a hymn I'd heard before during long nights in the hospital. It was her. Nurse Clara. The one who prayed for me when others had given up. She moved slowly between the drawers, whispering to herself as she checked the tags. Her voice was gentle, but each word hit me like a lifeline. I wanted to reach out, to tell her I was there, but my body was a prison. And then I felt it, the vibration of metal as her hand gripped my drawer handle. The sliding sound filled my ears. She was closing it, sealing me away forever. And that's when something inside me broke, not my body, but my soul. A desperate, wordless scream rose from within me, louder than any heartbeat I'd ever had. The moment that drawer began to slide shut, something divine happened inside me. It felt like a spark, small, sharp, and burning, leaped into my chest. My lungs, frozen for hours, suddenly expanded. Air rushed in, dry and painful, like swallowing fire. A gasp tore through my throat, faint but alive. The nurse froze. Her hand stopped mid-motion. The sound of the drawer echoed through the still room. For a heartbeat, there was only silence. Then she whispered, trembling, "Hello." I tried again. My voice cracked like breaking glass. "Please." The word came out rough, but it was real. Her clipboard clattered to the floor. She stumbled back, her breath shaking. Her voice rose into a scream, half terror, half miracle. "She's alive. Oh my God, she's alive." The door burst open. Footsteps thundered through the hall. Doctors and nurses flooded the room like a wave of white. One of them shouted, "Check her pulse." Another yelled, "Get oxygen, now." Hands gripped me, lifted me, connected wires and tubes in a blur of chaos and disbelief. Someone sobbed, someone prayed, and through all of it, I saw her, Nurse Clara, standing by my side, tears streaming down her face. She was whispering, "Breathe, please breathe," and I did. For the first time since death claimed me, I breathed. In that breath, I felt the warmth of something greater than medicine. A mercy that brought me back from the edge. When I woke again, it was too light, soft. Golden sunlight pouring through the hospital window. It felt warm, alive, real. For a moment, I thought I was dreaming, but then I heard it, the rhythmic beep of a heart monitor. My heart. I blinked slowly, every muscle aching like I'd been gone for years. My chest rose and fell. My hands twitched. And then I saw her. Nurse Clara sat beside my bed, her face pale and her eyes swollen from crying. When she realized I was awake, her hands flew to her mouth. "Oh, thank God," she whispered, voice trembling. "You're really here. You're really here." I tried to speak, but my throat burned. It took everything in me to whisper, "I heard you." Her eyes widened. "You? What did you say?" "I heard you. In the morgue," I croaked. "You were humming, you were closing the drawer." Tears filled her eyes instantly. She grabbed my hand, holding it tight against her chest. "You heard me," she said softly, almost in disbelief. "You were gone. No pulse, no breath. We all thought you were gone." I looked at her and whispered, "But God didn't." For a long moment, she just stared at me, a nurse who'd seen hundreds pass, now watching one return. Then she smiled, trembling. "He sent me there that night for a reason." The sunlight shifted, spilling across the sheets like gold. And for the first time, I felt peace. Not because I survived, but because I now knew that when death came for me, heaven itself stood in the way. It's been 15 years since that night in the morgue. 15 years since a drawer almost became my coffin. And yet, every year on that same date, at the same hour, Nurse Clara visits me. She never comes empty, always with one thing, a single white rose. The first time she brought it, I asked her why white. She smiled softly and said, "Because that's the color of the sheet they covered you with, and the color of the life God gave back." We sit together for hours, sometimes talking, sometimes just sitting in silence. No words are needed. Between us lies a quiet understanding. We both witness something that defies the rules of this world. There are nights when I still wake suddenly, heart racing, hearing that faint metallic clang of a drawer closing. But I don't panic anymore. That sound, once terrifying, now reminds me that life is fragile. But miracles are real. I spend my days differently now, slower, softer. I pray more. I love deeper. Because I know how it feels to be forgotten, to be zipped away, to have the world declare you gone and then to breathe again. Sometimes Clara holds my hand and whispers, "You were the reason I started believing again." And I smile through my tears. "No, Clara, you were the reason I came back." We both laugh, but our eyes say the rest. There's a bond between us that only heaven could write. The nurse who heard the voice of the dead, and the woman who lived to tell the story. And when I look at that white rose every year, I whisper the same words I prayed that night. God, thank you for not letting her close that drawer.